Possible guest.
Welcome to Let's Talk Jaws Live.
Sorry we're late. It's all Jay's fault.
Yep, my fault as always, Mike. Always my fault. So our guest tonight is tell him, Mike.
It's us. No. Hopefully it'll be Vaughn Babinson. We're having some technical issues getting him connected. So I'm trying to think who directed Zero Dark 30.
What's that?
Who's the chick who directed?
He's on the page. He's on the page. No, don't be on the page. He's still on the Jaws page. That's why. Yeah.
Oh.
Get off the live Jaws page, Vaughn, and just go to your profile. Like you're looking at your profile, and then look at your instant messenger, and your instant messenger, click in it from there. Try that. If not, we're gonna have to do a phone call.
He just said okay to my message.
All right. Well, Mike, tell him a little bit about Vaughn. Vaughn has got a lot of talents, man. He's got a big resume. The Jaws 2 fans out there know who he is, definitely, for sure. I mean,
yes, Vaughn is a. I'm trying to get his cell number here from him. He is a accomplished musician with a entire family heritage that goes back through his grandfather in music and film. He was a special effects person. He worked on Airport 77, Jaws 2, obviously, The Thing, La Bamba, Buck Rogers, Blues Brothers. He's an amazing bass player. His band actually appeared in a film, and I think we have a music video of that.
Yeah.
But okay, I just froze for a second on screen here.
Actually, we just wanted to show you Michael and I. Mike, we got a 3 here. Let me take myself down. I'm in the middle. Where are you, Michael? Sorry, I'm hiding you. And then back. Bringing you back. Hang on.
Oh, I've already got his number.
There he is. He's in the center now.
Is he here?
Not yet. No, he's not.
Oh, okay.
Yet. No, but I just wanted to show the folks his many looks over the years.
Vaughn, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Well.
Wish my camera and my sound is working. Sorry.
Yeah. Are you on the Let's Talk Jaws live page?
Get off it.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I'm on my messenger on Facebook, and I'm at the Be Live Studio too.
Okay.
Okay, but you're just not showing up.
I wouldn't even be on the Be Live Studio. I would just get into Facebook and go that way. He's gone.
Let me see.
But you told me to get off the live page.
Right? Yeah. Don't be on the live page. That's what was messing it up. If you're,
but you said you were
on your Facebook page, it should work.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. I'm sorry. Sometimes it's
I've had issues before, but never like this.
So
yeah, well, like I said, I've done Zooms and they've just had no problem at all. So
yeah.
This is just frustrating. That's all. No problem. Technology's a wonderful thing.
We're sorry.
I understand.
Okay, so I'm on my page. I see the link there that says tonight, Let's Talk Jaws Live. What am I supposed to be clicking on?
Okay, don't click on that. Then now go to your messenger and click the Believe. The Believe link.
Yeah. Well, that's where I was.
But were you on the Jaws page, our page, when you did it?
No, I was not. Okay, see, now I'm just on Messenger right now, and I'm getting the link.
Okay.
And it takes me to Be Live Studio 2.
Okay.
And it says Connect Camera, and I click on that. Mm-hmm. And then your thing. Oh my God! It worked!
All right.
The audio is working. I'm not seeing my video, but at least it's here.
Okay, well then you can listen and we'll talk about you and ask some questions.
Sure.
Perfect.
And also, another thing is...
No. I'll hang up.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Sorry, Jay.
That's okay. No, I just know it's got to be something has to do with this camera. It connects a different way, and that happens. Yeah, Vaughn, I'm so sorry that it can be frustrating. Believe me, I've had many frustrating shows with this software. But it's not the software, it's the camera. When you get on this, and you're a guest, you have to disable the camera from your, from your software, your security software. So it gets all confusing. But anyways, he's here. Vaughn is here. The man. He's got great pictures. He's got a picture of him and Brusette. He's got an awesome picture of him and the helicopter and Jaws 2, Victor.
I've said it before. Catherine Bigelow aside, women should not be in directing. That's just my opinion.
Juanita, come in here right now. I'm gonna tell Juanita. I see how quiet you are when she comes on. I see how you are. Hi, Gina. So nice to have girls on here. Can you believe he just said that? And you know what? If his wife was on here right now, she'd give him a little slap upside the head.
I'm pretty sure. So, Vaughn, you can hear us?
Australia. Oh, well, that's our buddy, right?
Yeah. So, Vaughn can hear us?
I'm not hearing Vaughn anymore. No, he's gone. I cannot hear him. Can you hear us, Vaughn? Watched all the Jaws movies. Yeah, Victor. It happens. With all our busy schedules, it's we didn't do a run through, but I'm a top Jaws fan. Who is that? I don't see your name.
I don't know. I gotta go on.
Hi, James. Hi, Victor. Hi, Donna. Hi, Gina. Thank you guys. James, you're awesome. Thanks for coming back. We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. We'll roll with it. Listen, we're going to pull up some pictures. I'm going to pull up some pictures. Mike, what do you want to talk about Vaughn first? Do you want me to pull up which one?
Well, let's do the let's start with the family history. We can
definitely
start with Grandpa.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's amazing that
It's probably Vaughn calling back. It is. Hold on. Hello.
Hi again. I don't know what happened. My audio disappeared after I hung up.
Oh, maybe you're hearing. Okay. Well, we'll keep you on the phone. Go ahead and say something real quick.
Okay. Hi there. Hi, everybody.
Does that work?
Sorry for the technical difficulties.
It's working, but it has a huge echo.
An echo?
It just keeps getting better. I mean, come on. Hit me again. Hit me.
Okay, well, I'll translate then. I'll ask him and he'll tell me and I'll give his answers as best I can.
Actually, he can come on the profile. Come on the live page now, like as a guest, as a regular, and then whatever he answers, I'll just put his comments on the top. Like just as James Scott, Vaughn, if you can come on like that, we'll do it that way. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Did you hear that?
Is that better?
So you want me now on the page?
Yeah, go to the page and just
because it's not working.
Just click on it, and then you'll be able to watch through Facebook, and then we'll talk to you, and you give the whatever answers are. Jail, type them out.
Okie dokie. First of all, before we talk about his grandfather, Vaughn has got so many talents. Longtime expert of film and music industries, from composing and playing jazz to working all aspects of film and video production, special effects. I mean, we're talking Airport 77, Michael. I mean, The Thing. I mean, it just goes on. As we get him on here, we'll get started. But in the middle right there, folks, if you don't that's his grandfather. And
that's his father. That's his dad.
That's his father, Harry Basin. His
father,
yes. Father is Russell, right? Okay. I'm sorry. I got that.
Yeah.
And then he also has, he's got entertainment business runs in the family. So that's his dad. And now I'm going to show his grandfather. Where is he? Hopefully he's on.
No, you got a picture of him.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, so how was your week? While I'm looking for these pictures and let's see. La, 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 la. Oh, Paul Davison, Gigi, Carol. Somebody's laughing. I can hear somebody laughing in the
Hey,
back.
Vaughn,
Is that back? Oh my God. I can hear. Oh my God. So yeah, I'm
yeah.
really,
Jay, can you hear him? I can hear him through the phone. Can you hear him?
I can hear him now. It's weird. I can hear him.
Okay. Yeah, Vaughn, Jay can hear you.
But
So
it's so funny. It's like I can't comment for now. Let's see. Okay. Do you see him on there? Because I don't know. When he comes on live with us, it usually shows him when he does. I think he's came on one time before. But you know, Mike, happens, it happens. But anyways, getting back to Vaughn's grandfather, and his father, both Russell, his grandfather, had like a multiple like films, right, Mike?
yes, he was a film editor. And
Credit is like the Glenn Miller story, Far Country, the Benny Goodman story. That's a great. I remember that movie. And he is also in the television field. He's associated with the series Mr. Lucky, Peter Gunn. What else, Mike?
Rawhide. Can't forget Rawhide.
Right? Yay!
Yeah. What I found amazing is that his grandfather edited 142 movies. I mean, that's got to be a crazy schedule. And Thelma Schoonmaker, who works for Martin Scorsese, like she works like once every 3 years. I just can't imagine trying to keep track of 142 films, because you would think that some of it was multiple, working on multiple movies. There he is.
And the editing was cutting the film and keeping it back together. It's not like pushing buttons like they do now.
Did you get that, Jay?
No, I can't hear him.
Okay. Vaughn said back then it was all cutting, actually working with film and splicing it, as opposed to working with computers. And now everything's edited through a computer. You just this scene, you're good to go. You're not cutting and trimming and trying to get the negative right. So that's just an amazing achievement.
Rawhide. Okay, we got a question for Vaughn. Was working for Universal. Yes. I had listened to a podcast you were on before, Vaughn, and you said that you walked into Universal, like just walked right in. And
okay. Yeah, Vaughn. Yeah, Vaughn noted that his dad was a longtime bass player in Benny Goodman's band, and his grandfather edited the Benny Goodman story.
yeah,
so that's kind of a cool family connection. Hey, Vaughn, I never asked you, is it Babison or Babison? Babison. Okay, yeah. I didn't want to pronounce it wrong. Okay, then let's bring up Jay. Bring up his dad's album.
Sure.
Yeah, if fans, if you're a jazz enthusiast, Vaughn's dad is probably the most. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. Probably most renowned jazz bass player in that time. Yeah. Okay. He introduced the cello to jazz, because basically, is it so there was no was there a bass line before that, or did he just?
Yeah, it's really hard to hear you. It's just I can't. I don't. Can you guys hear him, guys, on the other side? I mean, that's a shame you can't get on the comments there. That's we're just batting 1,000, all of us, on this. But
guitar string, so audiences could hear it much better.
yes.
And if he backed himself with a bass player, and the cello became a full-time melodic instrument, so he played all the melodies and then he soloed. So it became a front instrument rather than being in the shadows like he was on the bass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Because I always assumed they were similar instruments, just but I guess an upright bass is different than a cello.
Yes, yeah. The cello is about half the size of a bass. It's a higher register. It's like the four voices in a choir. You know, you have soprano, alto, tenor, and bass, and so your tenor and bass voices would be a cello and a bass.
Oh, okay.
You know, whereas your soprano and your alto voices, which are traditionally women's voices, that would be the viola and the violin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, we're getting musical history.
This is
Take
great.
note, everybody.
They love it, but you know what, Vaughn? They want to.
Okay,
you know
so
what,
let's.
though? I know that Victor's going to want to know all about the helicopter because.
Yeah, so there was another bassist by the name of Oscar Pettiford, who was very well known for his cello work. And they actually joined in a group together in '53 and played duet cellos with a bassist behind them. So the bassist could hold down the bottom while both cellos could dance around each other and play the melodies in harmony and solo back and forth. It was phenomenal.
Oh, wow.
5-star review in Downbeat. The guy said, "Run, don't walk to your record store and buy this album now. It's awesome."
Wow.
Somebody wants to know, did he ever work
So
on
what took you into film? Because I know you probably played music from an early time.
Yeah, I was, trained in music from childhood, but, growing up listening to my grandpa talk about film work always fascinated me. And it just so happened that when I was 21 looking for a job, Universal was hiring like crazy at that time. They were busier than they've ever been. I mean, they were renting facilities off lots because they had so many things shooting. All their television shows, all their major motion pictures. My boss on Airport 77 had just won an Academy Award for his work in Earthquake, Frank Brandel. So, there was a whole lot going on the Universal lot at that time. And I literally just walked up off the street and shook the hand of the guy that hired me the next day.
That's awesome.
That's a great, I got hired story. Usually you got to apply and ask you, do you have any skills? What did you do on Airport 77?
Well, truthfully, when I started, I was a craft service man. Now, most people in movies, they know that craft service is usually like the coffee person and the donut guy and all that crap. Well, actually, craft service is a labor union that services on production crews. So those are the people that are actually working there with the camera crew and everything. So, like my very first job that I ever had was working on Rich Man Poor Man. Mm-hmm. And I worked on the greens crew of Rich Man Poor Man. And we went out to a mansion in Beverly Hills and we spray painted the lawn green.
Wow.
And put a whole bunch of new bushes around the mansion and made it look all beautiful and shiny. And that was my very first location work.
Wow.
The day I got off of Rich Man, Poor Man, which was only like 2 weeks of work, I was sent to Airport 77, stage 27, and worked for 5 months straight on the production of Airport 77.
Okay. Did you?
So,
I mean, was it all behind the scenes, or were you there when they were filming, or?
oh no, well, I was there with, yeah, like I say, this was my union serviced crews that were on production. So I was only worked on crews that were actually filming. So yeah, so I went right on to stage 27, and Bob Warner was my boss. He was a guy who had worked special effects on Amy's Lot since the silent days. And he was just a grizzled old guy. And I walked into the stage with this huge fuselage running down. It was in a pit on a gimbal that was full of water, and there were 5 dump tanks of water with 13,000 gallons that would crash, or we'd send them crashing down a ramp through the fuselage of the plane that as they were trying to, lift it up off the bottom of the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
Wow.
And boy, I knew this was my home. I was so happy working on that crew. It was incredible.
Okay.
And,
So what led you to Jaws 2? Is it just another job, or did you say, boy, it'd be a great movie to work on?
But you see, the thing was, I started building a reputation. There was a group of craft service people that worked for a foreman boss by the name of Joe Kamowski. And he led a small group of craft service people that were specialized in special effects. And I kind of became his top guy. I really got the cream of the crop of the jobs as long as I was working there. So I started working down in the pit of stage 27, and my job was a lot of running. I was kind of a runner, go for this, go for that. You know how that is. And right across from the lower area of stage 27 was the area called Prefab, which I talked to you about, was the prefabrication of the shark. It's an area where they started building the sharks and the big platform and everything. And so, I knew all the effects guys. They all knew me. They saw me. And I was kicking butt for Bob Warner for Airport. And they saw how hard I worked just in traveling back and forth to the shop and getting what I was getting and whatever. And so the day I was laid off from the Airport crew, sent back to the shop, the Jaws 2 crew asked for me by name to come and work with them. And that was January of 77. This was like, 7 months before the location even took place.
Wow.
So, I worked with them. We're building the sharks. That's where that picture was taken that has the head of the shark with Roy and Mike.
Uh-huh.
And we were running electrocution. We were running pyrotechnic tests on the skin to see what would look good. And that was that lower prefab area right there.
Okay.
And so we worked there for 6-7 months, loaded up all the trucks for Martha's Vineyard, and I waved goodbye. Bye! And they didn't take me to Martha's Vineyard. It was like, oh no! So that kind of broke my heart for 3 weeks. But then I was working in the shop again, and at 3 o'clock, my boss comes walking up to me, and he said, hey, Vaughn, do you want to go to Florida? And I said, can I have a day to think about it? He said, no.
Wow.
And I said, okay, I'll go. So 8 hours later, yes, I had to have 8 hours in between shifts. I punched out at 3:30, and at 11:30 at night, stretch caddy limousine pulled up to my house in Pacoima and took me to the airport, and I flew out. There was only one guy. There was like a makeup guy and myself that were flown out that night to Florida.
Wow.
And I worked for 7 months. He said, pack for 2 weeks. I was there for 7 months.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was something. Well, what happens is there are union rules. And so when they went to Florida, there had to be one representative of every union before they could hire locals. And so they had to have a craft service person. And rather than send out the coffee guy, the effects crew said, wait a minute, we want Vaughn.
That's nice.
It I'll tell you, and it actually sprung a lot of jealousy on the lot, because here I was. I didn't explain when I first got hired. Like I said, it was so busy that I was what was considered a 30-day wonder. And that was the traditional procedure that you go through is you're hired as a 3 card, and you put so many experience hours in, and then you get your 2 card, and then you more experience hours in, and you get your 1 card. And so then you have the highest seniority. Well, I was a 30-day wonder. As soon as I had my first 30 days in, I had my instant 1 card.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
Cool. You're a go-getter.
All old grizzled veterans who've been there forever with their 1 cards. They were like, "Who's this young punk? He comes in, works here for less than a year, and he's going on the biggest location that the studio has."
That's hard work pays off.
I'll tell you, exactly. A lot of those old dudes, when they've got their seniority, if you're kicking butt, they go, "Hey, don't work so hard. What are you doing that for? You're making us look bad."
Oh, yeah.
But I was there to work, and that's what I wanted to do. And I was all excited to be on the lot. I thought it was a great job. So
Yeah.
I was very, very interested. And so as a result of me being on Jaws 2, since we were on location, this was another thing that was important. Since we were on location, if they needed an extra set of hands as an effects guy, then they upgraded me and they bumped me up, and I got certified as a diver, and that's when I actually changed over and became a special effects man. So I made the jump on Jaws 2. I made the jump from craft service to prop makers.
Okay.
So that allowed me to actually work on the sea sled shark, which I did for a month or so. I was one of the 3 crew members that would dive on the shark every morning, the sea sled shark. We'd get it all ready and start dragging it around, and then the 3 of us would sit up in a little booth in the back of this boat that had a freaking nightmare of hoses. I'll have to send you. Oh, you have that picture, as a matter of fact. Sorry, it's in the book.
Yeah, Victor's asking a question.
Of hoses that towed the shark behind us. I was part of that regular crew. I mean, that was really just amazing. Actually controlling the shark.
Okay.
We're
looking at a picture of you in a helicopter, but first, James Scott wanted to know, what was it like on location? Did you enjoy your time there?
Oh, it was beautiful. Are you kidding me? I mean, the only thing that I didn't like was the humidity. Well, once I got to use that, it was amazing. I mean, they were white sands. You could just, the warmest water I'd ever been in, seawater, ocean water. I'm a West Coast boy. It's cold water out here, but my goodness, it was like a bath in Florida. And where we were staying was a luxury Holiday Inn at Lamar Beach, which no longer exists. It was destroyed by a hurricane in 2004.
They just reopened a new one this past year.
Oh, I'd heard they were getting ready to. That's great. Great news. I'd like to see that place.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, and I mentioned before to the fans that the opening sequence of of Miss Tina Wilcox cutting the ribbon over the pool, that was the actual Holiday Inn that I lived in for 7 months.
That's cool.
That interior set is the actual Holiday Inn.
Oh, okay.
So
I was going to say, our friend Victor up in Canada, huge Jaws 2 fan, favorite movie. Wanted to know, how long did it take to shoot the helicopter and the shark scene?
Oh, gosh. There were at least, well, another thing that was hard for us was every time the weather changed from day to day, we would have to have like 4 or 5 different special effects ready to go, because depending on the weather or the direction of the wind or the currents in the ocean, we would have to spontaneously go to a different set of call sheets. I have one of those call sheets too posted. It says, well, if it's windy, if it's raining, if the shark is working, if the shark is not working.
Oh, okay. Because didn't they have
kind of kept us on our toes?
Yeah.
Toes all the time.
Didn't they have sets built in Pensacola also?
Oh yeah.
So in case they had
all over the place.
in case they couldn't film outside. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, there were interiors in Pensacola, and plus there was still always like I have that one picture of the orca being sculpted by Gunner, the three guys. That was a warehouse out in Pensacola. That so there were a lot of facilities around. We worked the platform and the sea sled shark were housed at a place called Bayou Chico. And we were there because they had a crane that had previously been used in Cape Canaveral. So it wasn't just the kind of crane you drive around. It was a stanchion crane on a huge stanchion that, lifted space rockets.
Oh, okay.
And so it was the only kind of crane that was big enough to pick up the entire platform and be able to lift it into the water. So we had to use that. That was one of our locations. That was a terrible location too. It was downwind of a paper mill. Oh God. And it just stunk. Oh my God. I don't have fond memories of Bayou Chico. The mullet population in the water was so dense and it was so hot and humid that they would just die. There wasn't enough oxygen in the water to support the mullet population.
Oh.
So there were just dead fish floating in the water.
That's a shame.
The paper mill wafting over. It was
God.
really bad.
This is good eating fish though. Good eating fish. So,
yeah, every time we have to get in the water, though, when we get done with the end of the day, we stink, we'd have to shower, we'd have to put drops in our ears and eyes because it was really bad stuff.
Okay. So how long, with the helicopter and the shark, was a lot of it just editing, or was there actually the helicopter was there and the shark jumped out, or?
I mean, yeah, it was the platform shark, and the helicopter that you see Carl and I on in my picture is not a real helicopter. That's a shell. That had no motor in it. That was the one that actually gets eaten. In fact, the pontoon that I'm sitting on, if you see it, there's no indentation where my butt hits it because it was solid foam painted orange.
Oh, okay.
They had already bitten through the original pontoon and it had deflated, so they needed a way to make the pontoon look always inflated. And so we made two large orange pontoons that were sculpted and added to this shell of a helicopter that was pretty much put together with hot glue guns and pop rivets.
Okay. Before I ask the next question, I should point out that Tuesday was the helicopter pilot, Captain Jerry Baxter's birthday. So happy birthday, Captain Baxter.
And I've seen his son is online too.
Yes.
It's really cool to see him chime in on some things.
Was there any immediate danger?
Was there any immediate danger to anyone when they did the helicopter? That's why I was curious if it was just editing where it made it look dangerous, if there was actually any kind of peril.
Yeah, I'll tell you the probably the most dangerous part of that was the helicopter blades as they hit the water. We loaded in pieces of helicopter blades into air mortars to shoot them through the air.
Oh, geez.
And and you saw the close up of the one that rips through a sail, and anyway, that was a little bit crazy.
So that was actually.
Shark,
I'm going to say so. That was actually the it was actually getting thrown through the sail. That wasn't like somebody out there throwing it. It was like propelled by a mortar.
You're right, propelled by an air mortar.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It's just charged with air pressure and it just rockets it out. So we used to do a lot of stuff with air pressure.
Okay.
So, I do remember one time when we experienced the jellyfish migrations. I had never experienced anything quite like that. There was a period of time when we were experiencing these migration of jellyfish, and they were every kind except man-o'-wars, thank God. But they were every kind of jellyfish you can imagine. And they were in like 10-foot wide bands that stretched for miles. and you would see a band of jellyfish, and then there'd be a clear area, and then there's other band, and there'd just be like 10 of them as far as you could see, and we had to dive in that.
Oh.
And it was hot water, so we had to wear 1/4-inch wetsuits because that's as thick a wetsuit as we could have on and not die. But we had to have the wetsuits on to protect our skin, because literally every little piece of skin that was exposed, like between the regulator and your face mask, that your cheek right there, that would get stung. So at the end of the day, into those days, we would have to go home and like douse ourselves with Adolph's meat tenderizer, because that seems to be the only thing that takes away jellyfish sting.
Jeez.
Oh boy.
2 quick questions. One is, any truth to the story that while they were filming, that a hammerhead shark came by and nobody noticed it but the actors? Do you remember?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that myself. I didn't have personal experience with it, so I really can't say.
Okay. And
I never heard it until I read it online here 35 years later, so.
Okay.
So
and
I can't corroborate that.
there you go. And the second question is, do you know what they did with the shark after Jaws 2? What happened to it? Did they take it back to
Not
California
really.
or?
I can't imagine. They never treated props very well after they were done shooting them. For some reason, it was very weird. I don't know why. I guess the rubber in the long run does rot away, so you're still going to have to start from scratch when you rebuild. The elastomer is good, but after a while, it just wears. It just rots away. It's like any rubber.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Talking about props, in the book, I got, pictures of Tina's Joy. I mean, they just dump the boats on the back of the lot. It's amazing. I guess.
Well, they used to do that. Like, I remember when we finished Shrinking Woman, a lot of the props that we had built, the oversized props, they just offloaded into the back lot, but they put them in places where they were easily seen by the tram of the tours. So, the tour people would be able to point at that and say, "Oh, you see that big giant skateboard there? That was for the Incredible Shrinking Woman."
Oh, okay. So that there was a method to their just dumping stuff.
Yeah.
They kind of use that as an attraction for the tours, because realistically speaking, the tours was their money maker.
Yeah. Okay. Last Jaws 2 comment. It seems looks like it was really hard work being down in Florida. Was it as hard, or was there little fun involved?
Oh, there was a little fun involved. I think I mentioned we had a weekly wrap party every Sunday. The mezzanine that you see Chief Brody run up at the very beginning of the movie there as he runs in for the celebration there. That outdoor mezzanine area was our wrap party every Sunday. Open bar. Oh boy. I worked most every day. I was kind of the low man on the totem pole, but I had the keys to the compound. So I was always the first man in. I was always the last man out. So I had incredibly long hours. I remember one paycheck that had 100 hours on it. At 40 straight time hours and 60 overtime hours in 1 week.
Jeez.
So, yeah, it was pretty grueling.
Okay, let's transport to The Thing. A lot of fans of that one. What were your duties? What were your duties there?
Well, again, just assisting effects crew and working in tandem. I worked for Roy Arbogast for the first 7 months through all principal photography, and again, miraculously enough, it was stage 27. That was my home for many, many years. But that was where the whole compound, almost every interior shot in The Thing is done on the set in Los Angeles through 100-degree summer while we were trying to portray Antarctica.
And everybody wearing parkas. Oh, geez.
Look at that. Now look at the picture in the corner. If you look at the picture, you can see him holding the dog. It's
Scheduled to
awesome.
shoot on the
It's
next day.
awesome. I love it.
We would
I love
load
it.
up the night before with
It's
every
great.
air conditioning unit they could fit on the stage and run it all night. And
Singing.
we had paint misters, or paint sprayers, just the gun part, mounted up into the permanence above the set, you know, where the grips hang their grip beds and stuff. We had these paint sprayers that were, we put hoses, water hoses directly to them. And then we had long strings that we could pull from downstairs, so we wouldn't have to climb it every time. But you could pull the string and actuate the trigger, and it would add a fine mist of water to the air to try to get the visual of your breath as it comes out of your mouth in the cold. So that was just really, really difficult to try to maintain.
Okay, the I don't know if you can see the picture we're showing is you with the dog. What was that? I know that wasn't a real dog, obviously, but was that?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a taxidermy dog.
Oh, so it was a real dog at one time.
It was yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. In fact, all the dogs were all real. They were all real skins. I know it was really grueling. That's why I have the weird expression on my face, because those guys used to always make fun of me. Botine's crew, you know, they were used to all this stuff because that's what they've been doing. They're horror people. That's what they live on. So there were a couple of guys that, like, every morning they would be driving into work at 6 a.m. and they would seriously look for roadkill, see if there were any dogs, or check with the local taxidermy shops to see if they could find any malamutes or something that would be usable in our context.
Oh, geez.
So, yeah, I know. It was kind of sickening, really.
That's got to be
that German Shepherd, that you can see how it's got an armature mounted to it, and I'm
right.
holding it up by the armature. Well, that was in place because what they would do is block out, just like you would have a stand-in come and stand in for a star.
Uh-huh.
This was our stand-in for our dog. And so they would bring him in to try to light the set and block the shot for the movement and what they would have the dog do, and then bring in for talent when they had it all together. So that's what that dog was for. Dean kind of cracked up when he saw that. When I went up to the Comic-Con in London, Ontario, he saw that picture and goes, "Oh, I remember that dog." It's so funny. Love it.
Okay.
Very cool.
I want to move on to one of my favorite films, La Bamba.
Mm-hmm.
And
right on. Great.
We've got a great shot. When that came out, I was able to. One of my first interview jobs was I interviewed Daniel and Luis Valdez. So you know, I like the picture you sent of him and Lou Diamond Phillips. But we're gonna hopefully soon be looking at the picture you sent of everybody down in Mexico and you and your bright sombrero. And what was the context of that trip?
Well, that was the scene that they shoot of Bob taking Richie to Tijuana to lose his virginity. And so that's why in that cast shot you don't see Elizabeth Pena or any of the female stars that were in the movie, because that really only had Bob and Lou, and Richie. Right. And Los Lobos, of course, was there because they were performing in one of the cantinas in Calexico. It was we were shooting Calexico for Tijuana. Okay, so they actually went down to Mexico. They just didn't like build a set somewhere and say this is Mexico. That's no, we went to. Well, we were still on the American side. We were in, it's Mexicali and Calexico. Oh, okay. They're sister cities on the border. And so we were still on the American side, but it still, looked like old time Tijuana. Just like we shot in Fillmore. You know where Fillmore is? Yes. Fillmore in Santa Paula. We shot Fillmore for old time Pacoima, because the Pacoima's kind of built up from those early days of what Richie. I actually grew up in Pacoima, so for me to be able to work on and get screen credit on La Bamba was like, oh my God, this is a hometown hero, and I'm working on his story. We actually shot at Whiteman Airport, which was across the street from where I grew up, literally across the street.
Oh, wow.
And that was the Iowa airport. It was to portray the Iowa airport that they do the Buddy Hall.
Okay.
Buddy Holly, Big Bopper, and they take
Richie.
off to their doomed flight.
I've been to the
So,
airport in Clear Lake. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my musical pilgrimages was to go up to Clear Lake and go to the surf ballroom and all that stuff.
Right on.
Okay, let's talk about your music career.
Well, as such as it is, I've been in a ton of groups, obviously, but I was in 3 independent projects. I mean, real solo bands that I tried to make a run for it pretty much 3 different times. That first one was called Uranus. I know. Don't tell me about it. I know.
But with a U, not Y-O-U-R, with a U. Yeah.
That's right. And I should send you that video too. I produced, well, when I left Universal, I kind of left because I felt like I was 28 years old now. I'm not really progressing, and even if I became a head effects man, I would still be looking for work every movie. Once the movie's done, then you're back looking for work again. And I had always been a bass player and always wanted to take that somewhere. So at that time of my life, I was with a group that got a small record contract with an independent company, and they had a music video division. This was in 1983, 1984. So this was like the birth of MTV.
Uh-huh.
And so I got to produce and direct music videos for the company, one being my project, which was the Uranus project. And it got us an album release deal in Europe, which was kind of cool, although the company then didn't do anything about it. It's like, we get a release deal in Europe and then you don't tour the band. What are you going to do? How are you supposed to generate interest in the music if you don't tour the band?
Right.
And so that just kind of fell by the wayside. I did a couple more music videos for different acts within the record company, and that was pretty much taking me away again from my music, and that was kind of angering me. Although we got an independent screening nomination at the 1984 Billboard MTV Music Video Conference, which is now the MTV Awards.
Oh, okay.
It's grown into that, but this was only the second year. And I don't know if you're familiar with it, but Herbie Hancock's Rocket video was what won that year for the best video.
Oh, okay.
Best music video.
Okay.
And I remember in the independent screenings, we were up against The Homecoming Queen's Got a Gun by Julie Brown.
Right. Remember that one?
Do you remember Julie Brown?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the comedian, not the DJ.
Right.
Not downtown Julie Brown, but yeah, the funny red-haired girl. So that was kind of cool, except, again, it just wasn't happening, and the band eventually broke up, even though we had this record deal, and I ended up splitting off with guitar player, and we formed the second band, which was the RH Factor.
RH Factor.
And that's the one that did the soundtrack for the Forever movie with Sean Young and Diane Ladd and Keith Coogan. It was funny because I kind of hit a lull after leaving Uranus. I know, it's a bit terrible.
We can giggle.
On Congress. Anyway, once I left there, I was wondering kind of what to do, and the guitar player who I found to try to rebuild the Uranus group was phenomenal. Robert Howell, he used kind of the RH and the RH Factor. Although that was originally a song my dad wrote back in the 50s, so there was all kinds of backstories.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, I ended up taking a class in film production because I wanted to learn more about actual hands-on camera use. And it turned out the teacher, his name was Thomas Palmer Jr., about 2 years after I took the class, he was given a job to be first-time director of this movie Forever. And so he gave me a call, and I worked in the special effects, but I also did the music, and we appeared in the movie because Keith Coogan's character is a music video director in the movie, so we got to appear as the band that he was directing.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I have that little music video I sent you.
Yeah, we'll run that at the end of the show.
Awesome, yeah.
Quick, getting back to Jaws 2, did you work with John Fleckenstein, the cameraman?
No, well, I knew him. I didn't really work with him.
Oh, did you know he was a bass player?
Oh no, I didn't.
He was the bass player in the Standells. Remember the song "Dirty Water"?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he left the band to go work at Universal. A friend of him got him a job, but yeah, he was the bass. Now he's back with the band. He's back playing with them. But
isn't that Thomas Waits too? Thomas Waits was in the thing, and now he's rocking out in his band too.
Wow. That's
yeah, sure. There's a lot of players out there.
Yeah, we're looking. I see. Oh, I had a good bass. So yeah. Oh, what is the make of your bass? People are guessing thinks it's a Gibson, but what's the make of your bass?
It's called an alembic. Alembic.
Alembic.
ALEMBIC. Yeah. They were popularized, believe it or not, but here's another Jaws 2 connection. While on Jaws 2, a group of us went over to the Mobile Municipal Auditorium to see Emerson, Lake and Palmer play live. They did the Welcome Back My Friends tour where he does the spinning piano and all that stuff. And it was like in a gymnasium. Oh my God, the Mobile Municipal Auditorium was just this little tiny place. And so you could literally walk right up to the stage and look at their instruments. And Greg Lake had a fleet of alembics. I'd never seen them before. Never heard them until he played them that night. And I just went, oh my God, that is my bass. And so I've had a pocket full of money when I came home from Jaws 2. And I went out and purchased one, cash out the door.
Now, do you
Guitar Center in Hollywood?
Do you pick or do you finger?
No, fingers.
Yeah. Okay, I like to hear.
My dad. Well, hey, my dad. Are you kidding me? He would never forgive me. You should have seen his fingers. Oh my God!
Oh, they had been.
The calluses from the stand-up bass are completely different than a good bass guitar. Oh my gosh. They're like the whole side of your finger gets calloused because you're raking on those huge strings. It's amazing. He had such finger strength that I was in awe of my father. Really great man.
Boom, 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 boom. And you are doing you have a project you're doing now with your dad's, well, not only your dad's music, but with jazz. Can you give a brief rundown on that for the listeners?
Yeah, it is a documentary that centers around my dad, obviously, but it involves the entire West Coast jazz movement. And truthfully speaking, jazz, because my dad, before he got to LA, he toured through Kansas City, met Charlie Parker back in 42. He went up by 45. He was playing with Gene Krupa in New York. I have a magazine that says Gene Krupa discovered a great bass player by the name of Harry Babison.
Wow.
Then he went to Charlie Barnett, Boyd Rayburn, and Benny Goodman, and really established himself as a top-flight bassist in New York before he came out here and settled in Los Angeles. That was in 46.
Okay.
So when he came out here, this was, his, like he said, his thin Texan blood couldn't handle New York,
Oh.
the New York weather. So he was really happy to get down in Southern California. And with all the movies and the studios and everything, the work was incredible. So it was very successful the minute he set set down in LA.
Okay.
Best of the best.
Yeah. Victor up in Canada wants to know who's your favorite bass player, and he's probably hoping you're going to say Geddy Lee's, but please don't.
Well, boy, that's really hard for me. I think right now I have more respect for Victor Wooten than anyone else. He got his start with Bella Fleck and the Flecktones. Just incredible bassist. This guy makes the instrument sing like it's just, I mean, there's Stanley Clark's and there's John Patitucci's, and of course my dad's one of those guys too. They're incredibly talented.
Geddy
I
Lee.
think there's a level to musicianship that you're not really better than the other guy. It's just that his style is different. So his note selection is different, and you just like the way this guy plays over the way someone else plays. But I mean, these guys are all just freaking virtuosos at what they do. Just incredible.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
I think that was it. I appreciate you stopping by. I'm so sorry for the technical issues. Once again, that was all on Jay's end. So
no, it wasn't. It wasn't. Everybody always blames me. I'm so over it.
Phone talker too, so it's fine with me.
I appreciate it. The fans appreciate it. When you get a chance, come hop on the page and watch the. You'll see some other comments that came up, and if you see a question we didn't ask, feel free to comment and answer it for the fans. And
sure, I'll be happy to.
Once again, I appreciate your time.
Thanks a lot. We're sorry.
All right, Michael, again, thank you very much for having me.
Oh, thank you. We'll talk soon, I'm sure.
All right. Say thanks to Jay too.
I will. Jay Vaughn says thank you as well.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks, Vaughn. Appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Have a great night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I was searching for all the pictures and pulling them up, and then every time I would, you guys were talking about something else. So I was just going in and doing technical stuff. So I was in the background, Mike. So you were mostly the host of the show tonight.
No, that's okay, but it worked. We slid into the thing, and everything kind of just slid into place. So,
yeah.
I felt like William Hurt in broadcast news because I was like, what's next?
That really well.
Yes.
I'm so glad because I was so sweating when things like that happen. I have to go and do all the technical stuff. I was like, I'm out of here. Like, Michael, you got this, honey. You got this, Michael. I can't do it. I'm pulling up Vaughn's pictures. And then on the Facebook, I got so many Jaws pictures. I put Vaughn 1, Vaughn 2, Vaughn 3, Vaughn the Thing, Vaughn's grandfather, Vaughn's dad. So, I mean, and I'm trying to pull up everybody else's. So, thank you, Michael. Michael's show tonight. Bravo, ladies and gentlemen. Bravo.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Matt,
happy to do it. Happy to do it.
Matt, I love you. Matt, without Matt, sometimes I'm telling you, your friend Matt, he's the best.
Kept me going for, God, it'll be 45 years in September.
Yeah. Because when I was trying to find all the pictures and stuff, he was texting me, and I was just like, he's like, what's going on? You messing up again? I'm like, shut up. I am not. So over here texting him and like laughing. And I'm like, oh my God, poor Vaughn. I felt so bad, but sometimes I swear it's got to be something on there that had to have been those 3 that we talked about earlier. Yeah. If you, I know, that a couple of people came on, and he's like, hey, it's McGann. I'm like, I know, I see you. Yeah. And he wanted to know about the airplane. And Robert, I always call him McGann. Yes. Hey, Robert, he's like, he didn't know his name was being up time the whole time, but that is he's talking. He wanted to know about, right?
Yeah, about the thing.
Robert, about the plane. I can't find your thing here.
Oh, this question is about the thing with Rob Bottin.
Yeah. I'm sure when Vaughn rewatches this, he'll be able to go through and answer those questions. Because
he'll. I'm sure he will. He loves talking.
He had great stories. It was just that it was trying to get to the next one and the next one, and I had all this other stuff. So, Vaughn, if you're watching, thank you again for coming on, and we're glad we got you on the phone. Like again, he said have Connor's on here. He always having trouble, Connor. You're like me. I think, but like the Thing, I have to say, The Thing is like one of my favorite horror movies. It's the best ever. It really is. And I was loving the fact that everybody was putting that up there.
Yeah, I think Matt took me to see that. I think I came home from Germany and he took me to see The Thing. I think we saw
Yeah.
The Thing, like The Thing and Arthur on the same night, like two completely different films.
Arthur, like with Dudley Moore?
Dudley Moore, yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. I was just talking about that last week. We were laughing. You know what I said? I joked around. I went, "You're a hooker." And then when somebody goes, my sister goes, and then she said, "Oh, we were playing. You know that game you play? You'd be good at it, Mike, too." Me and my sister Lena were like, "Bam, bam, bam." Heads up. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I was video games. Listen to this. This is really funny. You gotta make this quick. Playing video games. I really didn't play. I played Tetris, but my sister Lena is like all into it. So I couldn't think of Zelda, right? So listen to how good my sister is with horror movies. I went, you know, the crazy sister in Pet Cemetery when they had her in the bed and she's like, eh. And then my sister goes, Zelda. And I went, oh my God. And I was like, oh my God, she's good. Zelda. Come on, Mike. Would you have gotten that?
I would not have.
Pet Cemetery.
The best clue I ever got, and it was just by accident. We were doing at work that night at work, we were talking, for some reason, we were talking about Danny Thomas and his uncle Tanous, who always would do the spit take on his show. And then a couple days later, we're doing, acting it out, TV shows. And it was a TV series. And the guy I was with went like that. And I said, make room for Daddy. And everybody was like, yes. I was like, wait a second.
You'd be good at that. You're probably, trivia, like you always said, you did all the trivia.
Can't help but wonder if The Thing was a success. It was. John Carpenter was still very, very hip. I want to say The Thing was after The Fog. I could be wrong, but I think it's like after The Fog, I think it was. We were so grouse out The Thing. It was awesome. Like Jaws. Yep, we never got tired.
You know that little head? His little head.
Yeah, so the guy's head walked away.
Oh, that is awesome. To this day, I think that's the best special effects. I don't know. That whole scene is that's my favorite.
For a practical effect, for a practical effect, that's one of the best.
I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, it's to this day, it's like even my younger niece was watching it, and then I also made her watch Mad Max, and she actually liked the original. She's like, "That's Mel Gibson." I'm like, yeah. She goes, he was hot. What happened? I go, drinking, honey. Drinking.
He went crazy.
Drinking is what happened to him.
Though I think, and if anyone's listening, you can look this up and let us know later. I want to say they dubbed Mel Gibson's voice in that movie.
They did. I know that.
Somebody else. He was there for his, like Andy McDowell and Greystoke. They're for the looks, not for her voice.
Connor said 70s and 80s cinemas put on some great double bills. But what do you say? Sure had some strange mixes. I always remember going to see Barracuda in Inglourious Bastards and I did not. Okay, wait. Did you like Inglourious Bastards? Like, that's my least favorite Eli Roth movie. No, I'm sorry, Quentin Tarantino movie.
Tarantino.
That Inglourious Bastards. Because your friend Eli Roth's in that.
The stench of Eli Roth.
Eli Roth's your buddy.
Bastard. Like I said, I don't even believe he's Jewish. That's how bad he was in that movie.
I thought he was the worst, and I was like, "What are you talking about? I mean, come on! Oh, look at that! You got it!
Yeah, thank you.
Wait, the failure, it wasn't a failure, right? It was a box office hit, right? The Thing when it came out.
I thought it was. Maybe it wasn't. I thought it was. I liked it. Yes, Christine with Keith Gordon from Jaws 2.
You're gonna mention Mel Gibson. You have to mention Get the Gringo. Oh, that was great, Matt. It is great. You have to see that. He's absolutely right.
Last month I reviewed. He was in a film called Fat Man, where he plays Santa Claus. And he was great because he was just like Christmas is a business, and apparently the government, United States government, is subsidizing the workshop so that people go out and buy toys. It stimulates the economy. And this kid doesn't get the president he wants, and he hires a hitman to go kill Santa Claus. And it's just a dark comedy, but he was really good. I mean,
Wow.
crazy racist rants aside, Mel Gibson I've always liked Mel Gibson as an actor.
Yeah. I think I said something about Mel Gibson or whatever, and then somebody went off on me. Like, they were thinking like, oh, so you support anti-Semitism? I'm like, no, I just love that movie with the oh my God, Apocalypto. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Apocalypto is like a freaking masterpiece. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but I was like, Mel Gibson directed this? Are you serious? Like, yeah, like those are some underrated movies. Apocalypto is brilliant. I'm sorry. What do you think, Mike? Did you?
I enjoyed
like
it. I mean,
Yeah.
just because he's a Holocaust denier doesn't mean that I don't like his work. I mean,
I
I like The Passion of the Christ. I thought that was well made.
Yeah,
Thing had
it
a
was.
budget of 10, made 19. Made 4 million.
Nice, Robert, with the stats. I love
Thank
it.
you, Robert. Though, you know, it probably didn't. Premiere Magazine did a story. Art Buchwald was a writer back in the 70s and 80s. He's since passed on. But he wrote what was kind of a story treatment that became Coming to America. And when it was made, he sued Paramount. And Paramount was able to prove in court that even though that movie made $150 million at the box office, it never turned a profit.
What?
So, yeah.
How did they do that?
Yeah, just, oh, well, you know, we had to pay for this, and, you know, but we had to make the movies, and it was like, you know, $50,000 for this and advertising. You know, then Eddie had to get his share. So, you know, we never made any money on that. So they hid it away somewhere.
Karma is always going to come back at you. I'm telling you. Matt said, what did he say, Matt?
Oh, Thing came out at the same time as E.T. Yeah. Yeah, The Thing wouldn't be a good summer movie, I wouldn't think.
I like both.
Yeah.
It depends on what kind of mood you're in.
Yeah. What if E.T. was The Thing?
Oh, that'd be
a good mashup.
Yeah, that would be. That would be.
And to see Kurt Russell take a flamethrower to E.T.
Oh, Lena, I don't know if she's on or not, but I forgot what does anyone remember? I know Victor will know this. What is his name? Kurt Russell. I should know this. His
McCready.
name in
McCready.
Yeah. McCready. What is it? Yeah. I forgot.
McCready, I think.
McCready. Is that? I don't know. I thought that's the one that they put out in the shed. I forgot. They're gonna have rolls now, but we had to pay for donuts. Donuts. Oh my God, Paul Mart. That's a that's a really bad movie. You're right, Connor. I'm sorry. Oy vey, that is a bad one. Poltergeist, Poltergeist kicked ass. It was awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm sure Spielberg used some clout.
Oh, look at that, Robert.
Yeah, McCready. Through. Yeah, R.J. McCready. Yeah.
Well, come through, Robert. Come through. Yeah. Hair, 2000. Oh my God, we could talk about The Thing all night here. Oh wait, we have a good movie. Let's see. We got that. Who else am I missing here? Robert. He talked a little bit about the beginning of his career. At the beginning, he was talking about how he walked into Universal and basically just went in. There was no security, and then like got a job there, and then he was put on the lot. If you want to go back and he talks about it, it's kind of hard because he couldn't get his camera hooked up, so it's quite frustrating, right, Mike? It was.
And if anybody is looking for a job, you want to move to Independence, Missouri, I'm hiring meter readers. $36 an hour. Come out and read some meters for me.
Nice. Yeah. Really?
Yeah. Damn. So.
Oh, look it! Oh my God! Look who's here.
He's back. There he is. He's here for questions.
He's on. Vaughn. Oh my God. All right, Vaughn. Oh my God.
All right. Well, I think we're going to say goodnight. It was a long show, but we once again apologize for the technical difficulties. But please leave your questions at the end. If Vaughn didn't answer them, or if you have something, I'm sure he'll go back and give you a comment or two.
Yep, you will. Vaughn, I never left.
Never left.
Aw,
He's always been
what a-
here.
Michael, when we do our other show, we'll be singing, "Oh, what a night!
Oh, indeed.
Oh, what a night!"
I can't hit that note anymore.
Yeah. Okay. That's on your Facebook page. I actually a couple months ago I stalked your Facebook page and I saw all that stuff on there, Vaughn. I love it. Thank you guys so much for coming in tonight. As always, we're live, so we roll with it, right, Mike? We roll.
That's right.
Rolling. Rawhide.
It's like television in the
Go,
50s. We're live.
Yeah, we're it.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you guys. Thanks
Thank you,
everyone
James.
for coming
Thanks
in.
for staying up.
Thanks, Victor. Thanks, Connor. Thanks, Donna. Thanks everybody again. Vaughn was listening to Rush. Look at that. He's so funny. Bye. Bye,
I
Gina.
hope
Gina,
not.
thank you. Bye, Robert McCann. Thank you, guys. All right. Well, we'll let you know the middle of the week what we might have another surprise guest. You never know with Michael. He'll let us know. Victor got that ornament in the mail.
Yes,
actually.
finally.
Yes.
Finally.
And,
I think it went by Pony Express.
also, hold on one second. I wanted to mention, you had told me, I really wasn't on Facebook, but John Conrady's dad, Wayne Conrady,
Yes.
he's ill, and actually they had their 45th anniversary, I think, today. John put it on Facebook. I just saw, yeah. And I wanted to pull up a picture, but from all of us at Jaws family, John, we wish your father well. He looks like a strong guy, great guy.
He had a bone marrow transplant, so he's
Okay.
obviously dealing with the repercussions of that. But we wish him well and good health soon. And Jaws
Yeah,
fans,
well,
we look out for each other and we love each other. So we send our love to John and his family.
okay, yeah, I wanted to pull up a picture. Hold on one second. I'm going to have it any second right now. Anybody still here, or did everybody take off? We already said goodbye.
I'm here.
So that's all that matters. You ran the show tonight anyway, so you were on it. You were on it, Mike. You were on it. Yeah, I was going to pull up John's picture, but I'm just not having it. I can't find it, so unfortunately. Was there any other oh, it won't support it. Okay. I was wondering why it wouldn't. Oh, it's a shame. Okay. I can pull it up for Facebook. I'm determined to put his dad's face up here because his dad looks like such a great guy. And I just feel for you, John. I do. And your dad's a fighter and everything's going to be good. We'll be keeping him in our prayers. And I do have that picture, and it's coming up right now, actually.
Okay. Hey, when we're done, don't forget if you can post that Vaughn's music video. Post that to our page so people can see it.
Yeah.
The big hair and early '90s rock.
I know. I love the fact that he's so he has everything. He has a special effects director, producer. He's just so multi-talented. It's amazing.
Versatility is what you need.
Yeah, I do have that screen, and I do have that picture. Because it's on a private screen, I can't show it. So I'm going to.
Oh, it's me again. There he is. That's John on the right. There's Dad on the left. Keep a good thought in your mind and say a prayer for his dad, and let's get him back to health and hanging out with his boy.
Okay. Well, we love you, Jaws family. Thank you so much again.
Thanks for coming by and joining us. And again, sorry for the delay, but it was all worth it because we had a great interview. Had a great guest.
Yes, we did. Thanks again, everybody, and have a great night. Thank you, Victor. Oh, Michael shows up at the last minute. Michael Massey. He's always there. Hey, Alexa, you play Jaws. All right, great. All right, have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much.
Fins up.
Bye-bye. Have a good one. Fins up. Bye-bye. What a great show, huh, Mike? We're still live. We're
Okay.
just gonna do like that ending credit thing, like they do on Donnie Marie. Like,
Yeah.
we had a great night, folks,
Great
tonight.
night. Thanks for joining us.
It was so awesome. Everything works all the time. It's a great show here at Jaws Live. Michael Smith's show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Smith.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Good night, guys.